Welcome back to Crypto Odyssey, where we talk about all things crypto, including technical analysis, fundamental analysis, news, updates, XRP, BTC, you name it, we have it here. In today's video, we're looking at XRP on the daily chart. And what we have right in front of us is a pullback, and it seems to be landing on the sweet spot of our breakout zone from this descending trend line. Now, this is interesting because we were expecting a little bit of a pullback, especially on Bitcoin, which is sitting currently. Let's have a look at Bitcoin quickly. So Bitcoin has pulled back to around 94K roughly. We were expecting potentially a little bit more of a pullback back down to this 91/92K level. If we look at how much is retraced so far from the highs, we're looking at about 4 or 5%. Okay, so there still might be some more room to go. However, if we just jump back to our XRP chart, we can get that up, Coinbase, I believe. Sweet. So yeah, what we seem to have here is a sort of pullback, and we are testing this again for what looks like the third, or maybe even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th time testing this trend line as support. If we close like this, this actually looks fairly bullish. Why does it look fairly bullish? Well, this looks like it wants to be forming some kind of bullish hammer, and it's happening at the bottom of a move. This move here is to the downside. So if we see a hammer form here, this would be a bullish hammer, indicating a kind of reversal. And this is on a daily time frame, so there is the potential here for us to see a swing upside. Now, on the flip side, if we saw a move to the upside and we saw a hammer forming like this, almost looks like a bullish hammer, but when it happens at the top of moves, that's indeed a hanging man. If it closes like this on the daily against this trend line, it looks fairly positive, and we can be optimistic about that. Let's have a look at the Stochastic RSI, see how much room we've got going on with that. And sure, we've retraced now to the bottom, so this is good to see. Yeah, we're back in the oversold region, which means that the opportunity to swing momentum to the upside is there. If we jump onto the shorter time frames, we can see that move coming in now. In fact, it looks like we have some kind of divergence going on, bullish divergence, where we have higher lows on our stochastic, lower lows on our price action. This is a bullish signal. This signifies a bullish divergence. So it may be the case that we've bottomed here and we're about to see some upside push, maybe up to this region here, which I think, we could expect at least before we retrace a little bit. Now let's just get out of Fibonacci retracement tool. We can get rid of that and see from the lows to our highs and see where we end up. So let's get the low in, which is here. All right. Interesting, very interesting. Let's jump on the daily. Okay, so you can see that our 382 level is lining up quite nicely with this blue descending trend line. Now, what this tells me is this is a point of support, and we even have some lower levels here. So the 0.5 would be another level to watch. That could be potentially a nice zone for a retracement. The price does like to retrace back to the 0.5 level. It's a classic retracement level in Fibonacci analysis. There's the potential here for that to happen. However, given the fact that we are finding support on this 382 level and we're forming what seems to be a bullish hammer, if we close the daily like that, that might just be enough for us to then see upside action. Let's go on to our higher time frames and see what our MACD is looking at, because we were watching for that free daily cross, and of course we did get it. However, what we're seeing here is this pale color, this pale green, is telling us that momentum is slowing down to the upside, and we might be seeing a MACD cross to the downside, which would indicate lower prices still to go, and this would just be another failed MACD cross. Is that going to happen? Well, we'll have to see in the short term what price action does. Right now we're finding support on the 382 level. We're also finding support on our descending trend line. This is a make or break point for XRP in the short term. Whether we're going to go to the upside and start tackling these highs at 2.5, or if we've still got room to the downside and we may be testing these 1.9, 1.8 levels or so. we will have to see in the short term. Let's jump into the daily to see how the MACD is on the daily, because I imagine we're going to see a MACD cross. Now, this just came in on the 5th of May, yesterday, where we saw this MACD cross get confirmed, and we see now that momentum is to the downside. But we've already had this move from the highs now to this low, which is about 11-12% pullback. Could this be a sufficient pullback given the fact that we have support here? Quite possibly, but ultimately we'll have to see what the market does moving forward. This could be a bounce zone. We could see price move to the upside. If that does happen, then that would be very bullish, because it's adding consistency to the idea that we're forming higher lows here. Right now, this is still a higher low. We have, as you can see, this low here, and now this low, which is still a higher low. So we'll have to see what price action does. However, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Just a quick one, giving you an update on XRP. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.